It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from the Meanwood Brewery. Now I've never had a beer from the Meanwood Brewery. There's so many of these lovely new breweries still opening in the UK and of course around the world that it's very difficult to keep up with everything. This is called As Above, Sea Below. It's an East Coast Pale with Cascade Mosaic, coming in at 4.5% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. Now I've got a beer mat here because this beer was kindly sent to me by Bingley Brew Club. I've had a beer or two on that beer mat, so it's slightly stained with beer, but we'll get to Bingley Brew Club in a minute. But first of all, I want to get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening, beer in the glass. Oh, look at the colour. Wow, lots of colour and lots of carbonation. 4.5% ABV. As above, sea below. Now, is that some kind of like office talk? I don't work in an office. Well, technically, when I sit at my computer, I do, but I sit alone. And nobody ever says to me, as above, sea below. So it's definitely kind of office talk, isn't it? If somebody can explain to me what it means, it's something you would expect to read in a corporate email. Right, we got a 2-finger white head, hazy. I was about to say straw coloured, but it's on its way to being amber, this one. Like an amber straw coloured, in between the two coloured beer. Slow moving carbonation, it's nice and hazy. Let's get the aroma on this beer. It's got great head retention. Smells good. Lovely, lovely and hoppy. Loads of tangerine flavours, a little bit of lemon flavour, grapefruit, passion fruit. Smells good, let's dive in. Cheers everybody. Oh, oh wow. Carbonation on that beer is quite aggressive, but I feel it works. It really does promote the beer, promote the flavours in the beer. It kind of really hisses and fizzes on your palate and pushes that beer round the inside of the mouth and releases more of that flavour. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that is one of the most aggressively carbonated pale ales I think I've ever reviewed on the channel. I tell you what it reminds me of. It almost reminds me of Buck's Fizz. I like a glass of Buck's Fizz at Christmas morning. You know, it's like a 2% alcoholic cocktail thing in a 750ml bottle. It used to cost about £2 a bottle, but with this whole cost of living thing, it's gone up to about £3-4 a bottle now, Buck's Fizz. But it's a really good like beginners, drink it in the morning, have some fun, and then you lead into the beers and maybe some Baileys in the night. But yeah, generally Buck's Fizz is the first thing you have Christmas morning when you start cooking the turkey. But going back to this beer, it really has that kind of really carbonated Buck's Fizz feel to it. It's got a really nice drinkable mouthfeel. It's very refreshing, but at the same time, It does have a little bit of body there. It's like they've added a little bit of oats to the beer. It's very good. It's very, very good. Flavours. It's like a really good tangerine orange, a freshly kind of, you've just peeled it and you've squeezed an orange in your hand, and you know you're eating the orange flesh that's just bursting through the side of your hands, and it's kind of running down your wrist, and it's, you know, that lovely, you know, you're absolutely kind of enveloped in this kind of citrusy taste. There's some passion fruit, there's some grapefruit. It's like cutting a pink grapefruit in half, putting some sugar on the top of the pink grapefruit, and then just smashing it in your face and getting into all that lovely juicy sweet but sour flesh of the grapefruit. There's a little bit of a sweet malt beginning to the beer, and then bitterness. Let's have a little kind of, I definitely got the sweetness to begin with from the light malts, but in terms of bitterness, how bitter, if indeed is it bitter at all? It's really carbonated though, pardon me. I'd say there's a touch of bitterness, but it's more all of the flavours are in the middle. A lot of the flavour is happening in the middle of the beer. Little bit of sweetness to begin with, maybe the odd touch of bitterness on the back end. It's a very nice pale. Is it a pale ale? I suppose 4.5% ABV. Yeah, East Coast Pale. East Coast Pale Ale. Right. Let's have a look first of all where this brewery are based. Stonegate Road in LS. That's going to be Leeds, isn't it? Right, another Leeds brewery. Which leads me on to Bingley Brew Club. Now, Bingley Brew Club are a fantastic little venture where they concentrate all of their beers that they have on their online shop around the Bradford, Bingley, Leeds area of Yorkshire. So if you're ordering from them beers, you're generally going to get beer from that kind of, probably the best place in the UK in terms of beer is probably that part of Yorkshire, or Yorkshire as a whole. So some of the breweries are Salt, Frisky Bear, Amity, Saltaire Brewery, Vocation, Magic Rock, Northern Monk, Timothy Taylor's, North Brewing Company, Binney, Brew Co, Ilkley, Kirkstall, Black Sheep, Horsforth Brewery, Wishbone Brewery, Amity Brew Co. You know, it's that kind of, there they are on the back there. And they've established themselves in 2022. So this company have been going for, this year, 2022. So it's a great thing. If you live, maybe you were from Yorkshire, or maybe, this is a better one, maybe, like me, I've lived in South Wales all my life, but I know, because I'm a beer fan, a beer lover, that Leeds and Yorkshire is probably the best place in the whole of the UK for beer. So if there's a company specifically, an online beer shop that's selling Yorkshire beer, the very best of Yorkshire beer, then I want a bit of that. I want a bit of that. I want a bit of kind of like, hey ho, brilliant, yeah, drink the best beer in the country, all from the same website. So it's a bit of a stamp of approval, really. You know, if you're going to get a beer from Bingley Brew Club, it's going to be from Yorkshire, and generally it's going to be really good. Right, it's all to do with God's, Hermes, the God, not the delivery package company. On about ancient Greece and all this lovely stuff. If you want to read the back of the can, I'll try and get it to focus and then pause the video if you want to. But I'm just about ready to rate this beer now. As above, see below. East Coast Pale, Cascade Mosaic. It's a really lovely beer. It's not often I really like a lot of carbonation in a pale ale, but it works. It seems to work with the flavours in the beer. It really is a lovely brew. Lots of flavour, lots and lots of flavour. very drinkable. I like it enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.